generations from now, children are going to ask their grandparents, Grandma, Grandpa, tell us the stories of that Star Wars podcast with Jeremiah, Drew, and Andrew. Tell us some tales of the Empire.
Oh my.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another trailer-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with a surprise trailer drop of Tales of the Empire.
Yeah.
And we didn't know this was coming, obviously.
No.
But it was a fun surprise. And we are here. The three of us, the three amigos.
I was
going to
say, it's so fun. It woke up Andrew.
Yeah.
Yes, because
for those of you who don't know, at the time of recording this, it's 7:20 a.m. in Los Angeles, where I'm at. So,
yep, we're doing a Saturday morning
Cartoon.
live stream because this is the only time that three of us could get together to do this.
And
break down
this.
This is the earliest I've ever.
Go to a fun funeral after this. So.
Oh.
Way to bring down the mood.
But I was gonna say this is the earliest I've ever recorded. So
Really?
Yep. Drew and I did when we did Andor, we did all 3 episodes in one day, but we did
like a 7 a.m. one, didn't we?
No, it wasn't. No, it was like 11 o'clock or something like that.
Oh.
10 or 11. But
I like these mornings, dude. Not gonna lie, I feel up, refreshed, like awake.
But the thing is, like, I just happened to take off work because I have the funeral that Drew and I are going to. So it happened. If it wasn't for the funeral, I wouldn't be here right now. So,
well,
timing's everything.
Yeah,
timing's everything. But before we jump in, just want to mention that Drew and I have our trailer reactions on YouTube, and for some odd reason, Drew is going viral right now.
Jeremiah is not salty.
Literally within probably the hour during we're recording this, he's gonna have our most viewed YouTube video of all time. So
not viral. It's so dramatic.
Okay, when you literally have like 10 times more views than you normally do on the video, it's viral.
It's viral for y'all. Yeah,
it's a nice.
It's a nice boost. So if you guys are still listening and haven't gone over to YouTube ever, what are you doing?
One. Yeah, what are you doing?
And 2, hit that subscribe button because we're pushing that 500 mark that we've been trying to get. YouTube is like hard for us for some reason. I think it's because our episodes are this long.
Long and podcasts are just people put their earbuds in and are working or something.
And like when I went live on Twitch to record my reaction, a lot of people are like, "Oh, I never watched you." It's like I've only listened to it on Spotify, but I knew that you're gonna do something about this trailer. So this trailer is pumped. Like people are like pumped about
people
this.
Are excited for this show.
Like considering like my last trailer reaction for Bad Batch only had like 250 total views. Like,
well, I think the reason why there's people are so pumped is because like no one knew it was coming.
Yeah,
it just dropped.
Well, yeah, I think the Acolyte one only had like 100 views on it.
Yeah, for us. But
it just shows that I think it's a really interesting litmus test of like where the Star Wars fandom is at right now too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's all over the place like always, but like no one is excited for Acolyte, really. Like I'm excited for it, but it's like
we don't pumped for it.
We don't know a lot about what it's going to cover, so it's hard to get excited about it. But like this trailer, we have a ton of characters we've already seen. Yeah, we already know how it fits into the story mostly, and so it's like, and also the animation was just amazing in this trailer.
Yeah, there's a shot in this trailer that I want to talk about when we get to it.
Oh yeah, there's a bunch of them, but like so like just because of that, like people are more excited because people have more anticipation for what it's going to be about, and we'll go through all that tonight. But it's like I just wish Disney would be like pay attention to these things a little bit more about like what gets people more excited. But
yep.
But like any other fandom or any other franchise, there's going to be highs and lows and everything. So that's just to be expected. But there's always room to grow and learn. So.
Well, and I think with the Acolyte, that's like really the problem is it just looked underdeveloped. Like going back at that trailer, like it just doesn't look.
Well, it's a very
like
set based
yeah.
show.
So I think that's like most people's complaint about it is that.
This isn't about the Acolyte. I know
True.
that. I'm just gonna say
we don't know what your thoughts are, anyways.
I'm excited, but like I'm also at a point right now with that show that I'm like, if I miss it,
oh no,
really? You're not even
really?
No. Like I'm excited. Look, I'm excited about it, but there's a part of me like Lee Jung Jae. Having him in this is fantastic for me because I'm a huge fan. Obviously from Squid Game. And like I think the cast is phenomenal.
It looks really good.
It does. The fight scene between the Acolyte and Carrie-Anne Moss, I was like,
the hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, I was like,
I love that part.
I don't know. I'm just an old man at this point that is still. Okay, so you know when people talk about
one on the podcast, he's an old man.
So you know how people talk about like your first experience with X is like the height for you for the rest of your life. You know that trope where like your first experience in the movies, your first like Jurassic Park experience, for example, it'll never be better than that. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I think the prequel fights really ruined me. Like the intensity and the speed and everything. Like I know I've hit on this before. I hit on this with Ahsoka, and to be fair, like the Baylan and Ahsoka fight, love that fight. But there's an intensity missing for me. I think like Carrie-Anne Moss's character, I think is a Jedi Master, right?
Yeah.
Like there was like that force push from a Jedi Master. I would have liked to see her like get thrown back into the wall.
You're assuming that. She put all of her strength in trying to, or maybe she was just pushing her back 10 feet because they're fighting and she wants to talk to her.
It was just like, that's
what
how
was it like again?
That girl is a witch too, so maybe she can.
She's not a witch.
Yes, she is.
The Acolyte girl.
She's a Sith Acolyte. There's a difference.
She's not a Sith. There's nothing.
We don't know that.
Well,
and you don't know that either, so you shouldn't label her as a Sith. But she's one of the witches. She's one of the witches from that witch coven.
Yeah. Well,
oh, this is not about this. This is about this dope trailer that I dropped, and yeah, I'm pumped for this trailer. The show that we didn't expect.
So
unexpected.
I have a confession to make.
Oh,
so
Lord.
We always go over our stories of like how like when a trailer drops. So like I have a funny story about this because I'm at work, blah blah blah. At lunch I checked my phone. I had no text that day from anyone. Okay, fine. Now I was just we were super slow or bored or whatever. Like a few hours later, I checked my phone. And I have 4 texts. Like last time I've had 4 texts in my life in a day. Like never happened,
dude.
I'm like,
so depressing right now.
I'm like, did someone die? Like, what's going on? I see I got 2 texts from Andrew and 2 texts from Drew.
Hey,
and I'm like,
please.
I'm like, okay. So
the only reason it wasn't 1 text for me is because I wanted to break it up for your phone.
Oh, it doesn't matter. You can do long.
No, okay.
I have a state of the art flip phone now, so it can handle
ones. Okay,
I can get emojis now, dude.
Ooh. Wait, you can?
I can now. So if you
I'm gonna blow up your phone now.
No, but it also costs me minutes too, so don't waste my minutes.
Oh god!
Like if you send a bunch of emojis like over and over again, like
it costs you minutes.
1 text I receive is a minute. So if you do an emoji, send it, emoji, send it, emoji, send it. That's each a minute. Each text.
Okay, so everyone who's listening to this that has Jeremiah's number, don't do that.
Don't do that.
And if you don't have
did you just text me, Drew?
No, I didn't. No,
okay. You just grabbed
I
my phone.
realized that Paw Patrol was playing on my phone, and I wanted to make sure I got out of it.
But so here's the thing. Like I saw you guys tell me about the trailer or whatever. I got super excited. Blah blah blah. I get home. I'm setting up my reaction video. I'm kind of seeing people's comments in the discourse. I'm just kind of like skimming them. And it wasn't until I was about to push record, that I saw that it was Tales of the Empire and not Tales of the Jedi.
Bro, wait a second.
No, I went back and your text say Empire, but I just saw
Yeah.
Tales and got excited, and trailer, and I got
Oh.
excited, and I was just skimming through comments in the Discord, so like I wasn't like actually like focusing and reading them. I just saw people Tales of the, and I'm just skimming through, and I had no idea that it was
I'm
Tales of
pretty
the
sure I
Empire.
also texted you Tales of the Sith. Did I not?
No, you said
Imagine
Empire.
it
Oh, I
was
did?
like Tales of Jar Jar, and he didn't realize it until right before he
would've been
started recording.
I'm like, is he a Sith?
hilarious.
Was he a Jedi and he turned a
Yeah.
Sith? I'm like going through his trailer, so I
Hilarious.
thought it was kind of funny that I
This
didn't
is a
realize
trailer
that.
about Jar Jar's story. That would have been hilarious because he was super pumped.
Tales of the Gungan will be season
No,
3.
so for me, I literally was on Instagram and refreshed it, and just it was the first thing that popped up, and it had been within like seconds of them posting it. I was like, "What? What is this?"
Well, I'm just sad because you didn't tell me.
Well, I knew you were going to find out anyways.
Oh, okay.
I'm more worried about Jeremiah than I am
That's true.
you, because you're more connected when it comes to these things. And so the interesting thing is, I watched it within seconds of it being up, and within seconds of finishing it, I had a message in Instagram from Tanner, who had also
Oh.
sent it to me. So it was like rapid fire back and forth. And I don't know if you guys know, but the first one that they posted on Instagram was cut short.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, so I watched it, and they must have realized it super fast, because at a certain point in the trailer, the last I think it's like the last 20 or so seconds is not there, and so it ends abruptly. And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it because I was so excited. And I sent it to Tanner, and then the link that I sent him in Instagram wasn't there anymore. Like I tried to click on it, it was like, this video is not available. I was like,
What?
did they release
was it
this?
deleted? Was it on
Or
accident?
they deleted the first one, and I was like, was this not supposed to be public yet? Like, did they accidentally release this?
That would have been
And
dope.
But then was it Drew? Was it you that posted this the thumbnail or like the poster on the story?
I don't
Or
know
was it
because
Tanner?
I also didn't see it. So my story was I didn't see it until it was out for 2 hours.
Oh, so it must have been Tanner. So I saw Tanner's, and I saw the poster, and I was like, okay, so they definitely meant to release this. And then we started talking in the Instagram DMs, and he was like, yeah, it was cut short. They had to re-upload it. So, but it was one of those rare moments that like within
Yeah, that's
seconds of
weird.
them posting it. But then I found out that they had already posted it on YouTube, because when I went to watch the full version on YouTube, it had been out longer than the Instagram one anyways. But
Yeah, because I didn't find it until it was like 2 hours later on YouTube. And it was like, I was like, is this real? Because like I was just on YouTube, and like my boss has been kind of not a good person lately. So I've been like super busy.
Hopefully he doesn't listen to the podcast.
If he listens, he knows because we've all yelled at him. But anyways,
Okay.
so that's a completely different story for a different
all
day.
right,
But anyways, so I was like not on my phone really, which is normally I have it in my pocket and I'm listening to like a podcast or something. But I
Yeah.
haven't been. I've been super busy at work. And then so randomly I grabbed my phone. I was like on YouTube trying to find a different podcast to listen to. And then all of a sudden I was like, what? Star Wars trailer. And then I went to their page and I was like, oh, this is real. This just came out 2 hours ago. I missed this.
yeah,
And then that's when I texted Jeremiah. I was like, hey, are we doing this podcast tonight or are we doing it sometime this weekend? Like, I'm trying to figure out my weekend because me and Jeremiah already have plans to do stuff this weekend. So I'm like, when are we doing this? Like, I don't work tonight. We can do it tonight or whatever. But then, so then I came home and my dad came over to help fix my tub. So he was like watching Miles as I was recording this live reaction video. And it was just a mess. But
Wow.
it worked. It worked.
Did your tub get fixed?
Yeah, I fixed my tub. It was just like
good.
the faucet, like
Yeah.
the drain spout, like that thing got corroded and broke.
Oh.
So I had to fix it. It was
Gotcha.
All right.
yeah, it was
well,
just
that
like,
fun.
and then yeah, it was just like weird, but
All
it
right.
worked out.
Well, we might as well jump into this trailer
Yeah.
now, because we gotta get done in like 2
An hour
hours,
and a
less than 2
half.
hours, hour and a half. So, all right. So it starts out.
Let me pull it up.
Before what?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Before we jump in, the music for this trailer, the way that they took the siren and basically made the music around it as a sample.
I guess I didn't.
Oh, it was so good.
I'd
Yeah.
have to go pay attention.
Yeah,
to
it's.
to
I mean,
listen to that.
they didn't completely build the music around that sound, but they used it as like a more of like a musical feature, I think, in my opinion, than like the normal. Just like they have it in the background. It reminded me of what was it? Rogue One. The Rogue One trailer had it in it too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite sounds,
Right.
along with the sonic detonator, seismic charge. Yeah.
Yeah. Or the
So-
lack thereof of sound with the sonic.
Yes.
seismic charge.
It's that payoff. It's the payoff. So, anyways, I just thought the music for this trailer was really good because they end it right as the Disney Plus the little thing goes over and it hits the plus.
Yeah.
It's like right after that you hear again one final time. It's really good.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So we are on the forest moon of Corvus or Corvus, whatever I forget if it's the moon of Corvus or if the moon or Corvus is. I can't remember. But this is Corvus, which is from season 2 of The Mandalorian, episode 5, the episode we see live action Ahsoka for the first time.
yeah.
And as you can see, all of these trees have all their pine needles because it looks like pine trees. Pine needles, leaves, foliage. But in The Mandalorian, it's all burnt to a crisp. So, and obviously, since this empire is here, and as we can see standing right there is Thrawn, this is pre his disappearance at the end of Rebels. So, this is Morgan Elsbeth and Thrawn talking. And that's like just right away, like we get more Thrawn. Like, I didn't expect that. I was like, we're not gonna get Thrawn until the next like Ahsoka season 2 or something. But
we get Thrawn in Clone Wars animation too.
Right, and he looks nice.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. First of all, this shot with the Star Destroyers.
This is just 3 ships, right? Because he was in charge of 3 ships.
I believe so.
I forget what it's called, but the middle one's probably the Chimera.
The Chimera, yeah. But like that, oh man, there are a few things in Star Wars that are as iconic as like a Star Destroyer with that lighting and the way the shadows and everything are cast across it. Like it's just you know exactly what it is the second you see it.
Yep.
And it's simultaneously beautiful and also freaking like if I saw that in real life, I'd be like, yo, that's really pretty. And also I am pooping myself because of how scared I am right now. But I think it's really cool that this is Admiral Thrawn. And
I don't know my insignia patches.
So it's Admiral. So he's not yet a Grand Admiral.
Right. I saw that it was different than what we see in Rebels, but
yeah. So I think this is really interesting because this is part of the story that has been explored in the novels, where he is not yet just Grand Admiral Thrawn, like
right. Canon Thrawn trilogy of the Imperial era. So
yeah, so I think it's really cool that we're getting more of his story from here, and obviously, like everyone was wondering how him and Elsbeth got together on this. So I think it's cool that we're getting that backstory.
Yep. So we might as well just start going forward. But Thrawn asks, why do you seek Imperial favor? And so then we start seeing some flashbacks to when Grievous and the Separatists slaughtered the Dathomirian witches. And so it's going to be cool seeing this done again, because we see it in Clone Wars. And I have to go back and watch those episodes to see. But it's like we're going to see like a side story during this, specifically on Morgan Elsbeth and what she experienced. And later on in the trailer, she's fighting Grievous toe to toe, which is, I'm excited for that fight.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, can you do the Discord and me a favor and put the episodes that this is on in Clone Wars?
Yeah.
on like just like on in the Discord so people can go watch them.
Yeah, I can definitely do that. I'll have to
Brr,
look
brr,
it up, but
brr.
it's definitely exciting.
For sure.
Because the fire looks fire, as the kids would say.
Oh, wow.
Um,
The fire looks fire, he says.
Yep. And so, but she's going. She says, "Years ago, my people were all but destroyed." And so she's just kind of retelling her story of what happened to her. So, like, I wonder, like, how did Thrawn and Morgan meet? Like, that's going to be interesting
Yeah.
because, like, they have nothing in common. Like, Thrawn is
Maybe they both like the same music or something.
Mm.
And they met in a Discord similar to the Empire Radio Discord that you should join.
joined the Discord.
Links to 2eyes.co/Empire Radio.
Yep.
Click that link.
And can we say that so I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but 13 seconds in,
I'm gonna say 12 seconds in. The fire
that
is
smoke
fire.
is
It's
smoking, as the kids would say.
It's good, dude.
Wow.
Like,
Okay.
There are so many
13
things in this
seconds.
trailer where it's like looks like live action quality.
Yeah.
Simulations,
There's
stuff
a
like-
specific shot that I want to talk about in a second. But
The dirt scene.
yes, with
Yeah.
a fist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so there's that shot of her. She's hiding on Dathomir. It looks like she's hiding from what's going on, and then the fire and the smoke. I think, and maybe we're gonna get to this. Maybe you were gonna hit this, but I think she burns that area of Corvus to the ground
Oh yeah,
in retaliation for those people in the blue. I think that
Oh.
there's an example because in the middle of this fire where she says, "My anger gives me strength," right before you see her soldiers burning stuff, that there's a wreckage of a shuttle,
right.
which is the same shuttle
That we see.
later in the trailer. And so this is definitely Corvus, what Corvus used to look like.
Yeah, and also, well, okay, we might be getting ahead of ourselves,
We are jumping a lot.
but we'll talk about it. But if
Okay.
you see here at 14 seconds, that guy has an insignia on his chest, an Imperial insignia of the flamethrower that's doing the flamethrowing.
No, that's not an Imperial insignia.
What is it?
That's like a little button thingy, like a little shirt patch thing. He's got buttons.
Oh, I guess when I move the frame a little bit
Yeah.
because the gun was covering the light. All right, my apologies.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously, so the fire thing is going to take place during the New Republic era, not during the Thrawn era, because the people in the blue are New Republic uniform
Yeah.
representatives or whatever. So, like, we start out with her talking to Thrawn in the Empire, and then we're going to see scenes during the New Republic, and we're going to see scenes in the Clone Wars. So we're going to have probably 3 episodes, each from a different era, which is interesting. Clone Wars era, Imperial era, New Republic era, which is, I think, is this cool seeing a single character
what we
through all
got
3
in the
eras.
last Tales of the Jedi too. It was like 3 episodes of it. So
Right. But this is going to be cool seeing such a wide range of in the timeline.
It's a really fantastic way to give depth to a character without having to spend a ton of time with them in a show or in a movie.
well, and I think that's really cool is because like we didn't think we're gonna get any like the story of Morgan Elsbeth wasn't something that was on anyone's mind, one, or two, anyone really asked for. But just in this trailer with her alone, like I'm so pumped for this.
Right.
And I like don't know why, but I really am. And I don't know if it's because Thrawn's involved, which probably like everyone in like all the comments on YouTube for my reaction were like, if Thrawn's in it, I'm for this. Like, give me more Thrawn. And so like I don't know how much Thrawn we're actually going to get. It might just be 1 episode, but like either way, like her story is really impactful in that last show of Ahsoka. And to go back and doing something like this, like in a 3-episode arc to tell her story and how she became who she was, I think it's gonna give so much more depth for those shows that we already got with her in it. And I think it's really good. It's really good for her character and for Star Wars. And I'm pumped for it.
It's almost like people really like character-driven stories.
Oh, who would have thought?
And I think that this is very telling. I'm not going to go off on a tangent with that, but this announcement feels like the same announcement as like them releasing like a book because of how much story I know we're going to get. And it feels like it's going to drive a narrative that is similar. So this kind of reminds me of like Rise of the Red Blade in some ways, where it's like we already know the end of the character. Like it's a character we've seen in the comics, in the Darth Vader comics, like not necessarily a main character, but it's a compelling backstory and a really interesting story nonetheless. And this feels like more like a book that they've made into, you know, an animated series rather than just like another show that they're putting out. You know what I'm saying? To me, it feels different, which is why one of the reasons why I'm excited for it, because we're going to get two very interesting stories that might, you know, they're not going to change the outcome. You know, they're not going to retcon the sequels or anything, but like at the same time, it's going to be very interesting to see these stories play out.
It's just more telling us things that for Morgan, no one really asked for, which is interesting. But
the same thing with Andor, though.
And to see, I think to see, like Jeremiah was saying, like to see it from the Clone Wars perspective, Rebels perspective, and then leading up to Mando season 2 perspective, like to see all of that play out in a really short span, I think is really refreshing because it's tying in this whole long story again. And I think that's really, really good because like there's gaps that we feel like we're missing parts in Star Wars right now. And like they're slowly getting like the Bad Batch is filling up gaps and stuff like that, especially in this newest season. Like it's really fixing a lot of gaps and it's helping the Mando story grow and be stronger. This is even doing that in a smaller scale really quickly. And I think it's really refreshing. And I think that's why everyone's pumped about it.
Yeah, like we've said a million times, like on the podcast, but like the sequel trilogy, like for me, was very disconnected from the rest of the story. And I think doing all this kind of stuff, like you said, Bad Batch, and then like with this connecting, the Clone Wars to the Mandoverse era and Ahsoka and all that stuff, like it's connecting to the sequel trilogy, it's pointing to the sequel trilogy. And of course, the sequel trilogy will never be as good as we would want it to be, but like it's gonna be better X amount of years from now because we can see one whole story
because we have context.
And so like I'm happy for that at least.
And I think like getting like a Tales of the New Republic or whatever, like getting a different perspective coming forward with like potentially how Poe became Poe before we got Poe. Like that's just like an example. I know, Andrew, chill. I'm just saying, like, if they could do this with this part, imagine what they can do to help connect these stories more. And I think that's refreshing to see. Not necessarily something that everyone wants, but I think to Jeremiah's point, like it is actually very important. To tie this all together.
Give me Tales of the Sith. Okay. Hear me out. Tales of the Sith. I don't care if they retcon Plagueis. Well, I mean, it's not canon technically, but give me a Palpatine backstory in Tales of the Sith.
We've all been saying this for years.
I just finished reading Plagueis again.
Oh, so good, bro.
And so I'm itching for that story now because of how freaking good Plagueis is as a novel.
Well, and who knows, we might get Plagueis in this upcoming show.
Eventually.
Maybe.
It's really close to the timeline. Speaking of that, we can ask Andrew. How old was Plagueis when he passed away?
Multiple hundreds of years.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So when he meets Palpatine for the first time, I guess minor spoiler warning here. He meets Palpatine for the first time on Naboo when Palpatine is in his like latter teens.
Or
he's like 19 or 20,
almost 20.
Yeah. And so there's a
right
scene
out
where
of college.
Yeah, he's in college at Theed, and he's like, "How old are you?" And Plagueis says something along the lines of, "I'd have to go look at the specific number," but he's like, "In human years, I'm like 100 and 20 or 40 or something standard years in human years, and he's like, that's like kind of relatively young for a Mun or a moon, however you pronounce it. And then he and Palpatine are together for like 20 years before he ends up before episode 1.
Does that book say how long he has been a Sith, like Plagueis?
Yes, not in specific numbers, but it does say so. His master Tenebrous finds him when he is a relatively young child, like I think like middle or high school, maybe even maybe like mid to late teens, kind of maybe that age,
14 or something.
Yeah, he's like not super young, but not super old.
So then, since Acolyte takes place 100 years before episode 1,
yeah,
like where would he be? Because
he would, if we overlap the two timelines, he would be
27. 20.
Yeah, he would be in his tutelage with Tenebrous.
Okay.
He wouldn't be a Sith. He wouldn't be the only Sith at that point.
Okay, because I was just wondering, like, during Acolyte, who would be the two Sith?
It would if we took the Legends canon and applied it here, it would be Tenebrous and Plagueis.
And it's Tenebrous.
Tenebrous.
He's a Bith, right? Is he the Bith
Correct.
one?
Yep. Okay. He's a Bith.
A Bith, that's a Sith. Wow.
But yeah, because Plagueis kills him, and this isn't really a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler because it's not canon.
But also you kind of
kill their master. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of a dead giveaway, but he kills his master. I think like
dead. Oh my god!
I think it's a few years. It's like 1 or 2 years before he meets Palpatine.
Oh,
give or take.
Cool.
So, anyways,
like we
Tales of the
get
Empire.
Them. I'm gonna say we could get them in this show.
I mean, they could easily make Plagueis already a Sith master, and he just lives long enough because like they have an extended lifespan. So it's possible that we could just get Plagueis.
Hopefully,
but then it begs the question.
Even his master would be dope.
Yeah, like it begs me to ask the question: how does if this girl's the Acolyte, like how do we get from her to Palpatine? And then the other thing too is like, have they ever said explicitly that Plagueis is Palpatine's master in canon?
Yes, because doesn't he say that?
So he only tells Anakin the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise.
So it's not stated in canon, but like people like Palpatine, Filoni, and all those other storyboard people, like it's kind of just establishes that.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is like, if I think that there is room, if they really wanted to throw a curveball, he could just be alive at this point and not directly be Palpatine's master.
Could be, but I also think that Palpatine's like the opera scene when he says that he learned how to like save those he loved from dying, and he said something like he taught his apprentice everything he knew, and then Palpatine is able to
that's true.
Life transfer thing.
It's heavily implied.
So it's not like official, like we stated.
You know what's really interesting?
Implied.
This is, I promise I'll make this short. The interesting thing is that if we were to take Plagueis as canon, Palpatine doesn't learn that from Plagueis. The essence transfer thing, which is very interesting. He learns how to manipulate midichlorians from Plagueis, and Plagueis, like low key, is like on the brink of like figuring immortality out in this book. Like it's like dangerously close to being immortal.
But that's what Palpatine does with his essence transfer. Like it's to save people's, like this, the way you save someone's life is transferring their essence.
Right.
But
what Plagueis him and Plagueis were working on were not transferring their essence. they were
Transferring
using
midichlorians.
they were using midichlorians to continue to keep themselves alive in their own bodies. Like there's a part.
All right. Well,
and
we should be.
anyways, we can talk about this if we do Plagueis in EU with Andrew.
Okay, real quick. We're really quick. The only reason why I think that they might end up making that Plagueis book canon is because they recently have been releasing the Legends books with new covers and new faces. And I went to Barnes and Noble like last week, and there's a bunch of them, and they're taking all the old ones out, and they have not done that yet with Plagueis.
Yeah, they have. That's the one that I was reading. Yeah, that's the one that I was reading. But also, they can't make it canon because it references a ton of EU Sith lore.
Oh, okay.
So they would have to rewrite it essentially. But anyways, Jeremiah, I can tell.
All right.
Jeremiah's trying to.
All right, 14 seconds in. Flamethrower guy.
Yeah.
Morgan says, "My anger gives me strength."
Ooh, that's a Sith. That's part of the Sith.
And
motto.
We see her on Dathomir at 16 seconds with later in the trailer, these two ladies are referred to something in the subtitles. I forget what they're
Coven Mother, Din Mother,
Mountain something.
Hold on.
Mountain Sisters.
No, Mountain Clan Matron.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
So these kind of remind me
Din
of
Mother.
Mountain Mothers.
These two remind me of the two witches that were with the head witch on Dathomir or Death. What was the name of that planet?
I think it was
they went to.
Shoot.
What's the name of the whale planet they went to? Whatever. It reminds me just the way they look with their whatever. But she's looking over the carnage from what we assume is the massacre on Dathomir after the fact. So it's cool that by having these two other people, there's Dathomirian witches elsewhere. Or there's different like clans and different kind of like sects of the witches that these ones are in the mountains and stuff. So that's cool that because on we were like, how did she survive? But then also like, how did Mirren from Jedi Fallen Order and Survivor, like how did she like? There's other places that they could have been doing other stuff. So
we're learning that there's a lot more witches than just the witches on Dathomir.
Yeah, like witches are going to be in Acolyte. They're its own separate witch coven. So that's cool.
In Plagueis, they talk about. There's actually a monologue in that book where he talks about. There are tons of other dark side users in the galaxy at that time when right after he kills Tenebris, and he's like, but none of them are true Sith. Like they're all pale imitations, excuse me, of like the true Sith. So, but then we get this shot.
So she at 18 seconds. That dirt.
Yo, let's
live
talk about
action dirt.
Let's talk about this dirt real quick. Okay. So first of all, I don't know what they did.
Watch it.
I don't know what they did, but like the foreground dirt, I don't think it's a plate of real dirt, but they bumped up the rendering quality on that stuff. I feel like they had like 2 or 3 computers dedicated just to that one.
This isn't a spoiler for Bad Batch, but in this last episode, like it's at night and something splashes into the water.
Yeah.
That water was like better than Avatar, Way of Water simulations.
That's a very big statement.
Yes,
wow.
It was. Dude, Drew and I had a moment on the podcast breakdown. We were talking about that water sim. Like, there's other places.
Andrew, you're missing out. That's all I have to say,
dude. Like,
you're missing out.
I'm gonna get it probably right around the finale.
I'm just gonna give you my login.
Just binge it all.
Waiting for it.
But I will say one of the things that makes this scene for me is the depth of field. Because they focus the way that they've got the digital camera, it's like more focused on the dirt than it is her hand.
Right.
And because everything is so blurry in the background, you've got that bokeh, as everyone in the camera community likes to harp on. You've got that nice, like shallow depth of field. It for me, it makes it look like no joke. I was watching this on my phone the first time when I watched the full trailer. it legit, my brain went, they stuck a real shot in the middle of this trailer. Like that's how well this shot came together for my mind. It tricked me into thinking, why did they just put a real shot in the middle of this? Because it's like animated. You can tell it's animated. She's on the cliff and this like this hand. And I'm like, is that someone's hand?
It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Hello There animation that did the Clone Wars remake of the Anakin versus. There's a scene like when like Anakin is crawling up with his robotic hand.
That
like the dirt there was like really highly rendered stuff, and it's kind of reminded me of that a little bit.
This dirt scene alone is gonna put Pixar out of business.
But like the Sims when she the second time when she picks up her hand and punches, whoever did the physics sims for this stuff needs a raise.
Well, it was probably Dave STP in the chat, who is Dazdor, who does the animation stuff, who just animated Lucy's first part of Lucy's
book, which is unreal, crazy, bro.
He did like an 8-minute short of the first part of Lucy's.
Have you watched that yet?
Not yet.
Yeah,
bro.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be great. Everything else I've seen from him has been fantastic.
Dude, it's good.
All I'm saying is this scene right here of her picking up her hand and punching the dirt, like that alone in your portfolio, just that would get you a job.
Well, I'm telling you, this dirt scene is putting Pixar out of business, bro.
It's so good. The way her hand hits and the dirt, the way it displaces the dirt.
Toy Story never looked this good.
No.
So, but anyway, she says it is that strength, and then as she's saying this, we see teardrops going down her face. If you look, which is
every teardrop is a waterfall,
something like that. And she says,
"Don't waste the water."
She says, "It is this strength that I offer the Empire." And she's having this monologue with Thrawn, and it goes to Thrawn, and he says, "Offer accepted." And at 24 seconds,
and Thrawn as a clone, like clone animation.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, yeah.
Sorry for Rebels fans, but it's so good.
Yeah. It's just interesting because, like, when we see the Grand Inquisitor later on, he looks very similar to Rebels, but here Thrawn does not look really anything like Rebels. So it's like it's just interesting that.
Well, you want to know why they're doing that? Because they're trying to bridge the gap in people's perception of him from Rebels and live action.
Meaning they're trying to have this version look more like the live action version?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because like he looks fantastic in Rebels, but it's very easy to tell that like his features are a little bit exaggerated in Rebels. I mean, but that's like the style. Yeah.
But I kind of wish they would have done that with the Grand Inquisitor, because the Grand Inquisitor
they should have made his head a little bit more rounded in this show.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. They should have probably done the same thing.
Yeah. Well, we won't get on that. But I have my opinions on that too.
But yeah, so Thrawn looks very lovely. And he turns and walks away.
Jeremiah 2024. Thrawn looks very lovely.
That's a t-shirt.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah. So then he says on May 4th, and then we see a Sith ship, or not Sith,
an Inquisitor shuttle
ship going to the
trademark,
where the Inquisitorius base is, and the fourth sister appears, who is from the Kenobi series.
Yeah.
And the whole show, I think she just stood there in the background.
Yeah, she didn't do anything.
I'm like, who is this chick? Like, I want to know what's going on with her. And they had a little card up their sleeve, and they're like, well, we're going to show you a lot of her story. And she says, I'm here to offer you an opportunity to Barriss Offee.
The amount of people that thought the fourth sister was Barriss. Do you remember that?
No.
When she showed up, everybody was like, yo, Barriss is an Inquisitor.
No,
and then they saw the tentacles.
Oh, I never thought that at all.
But there were multiple people on the internet that were like, yo, we're getting Barriss became an Inquisitor. And then they saw the tentacles and they're like, just kidding. It's not the same person. But yeah.
So literally for years, people have been asking what happened to Barriss Offee. Because the
That's
last
a
time,
t-shirt.
everything that Empire Radio says should be a T-shirt.
Hey, yeah.
Facts.
That's
how
also
we
a
gotta
t-shirt.
that's how we gotta do merch because we can't
Is it-
use our
is this-
logo.
It's just gonna
It's
be
just
sayings,
quotes.
Quotes.
That's
Yeah.
what we do. If you want us to do
That's
quote merch on shirts or coffee mugs or something,
yo.
let us know what quotes you want.
Someone out there wants to make a fake documentary. What happened to Barris Offee? Like a Netflix style documentary. That would be funny.
That'd be funny.
So, anyways.
But yes, so the last time we see Barris is season 5 finale when Anakin fights her and he gets a confession from her that she framed Ahsoka for murder, and then she is brought into the chamber where the trial's going, and she kind of gives her monologue rant against the Jedi and the war and stuff like that. And so that's super interesting that we're finally get the story, because there's no way that she got killed. Like, everyone thought that she's probably gonna get recruited to be an Inquisitor. Like, I think most people thought that that's kind of just because she dabbled in the dark side. It seems like she had anger against the system, which would breed a very nice Inquisitor. So,
a lot of people thought, what was it, the 7th sister in Rebels?
yes,
A lot of people thought that she was Barris too at first.
really,
yeah,
interesting. Because
people have been trying to find Barris for years, dude.
Right.
People have been grasping at straws.
but it's just the tattoos that she has on her face. It's kind of like,
Well, there were people
could have
like
them removed, but like,
yeah. Well, you did. I personally didn't know that they were permanent.
Well,
And I don't think a lot of people knew that they were permanent. So they were like, yo, she washed her face.
she just puts on makeup every day.
I mean, you never know. I mean, that could be part of like.
are they tattoos or are they birthmarks?
No, they're tattoos.
As a very symmetric, specific
I believe they're tattoos because I think there's that species, the Miralon. They
You get
do
tattoos
that.
at birth.
They.
But
No,
I could see her
it's just a part of their culture. Like, as they get a certain age or whatever, they just
look in a galaxy where a Quispy boy on Mustafar can have prosthetic limbs and a suit. There's got to be a way to remove tattoos pretty easily.
That's true.
right. But it's also a cultural thing, kind of like
But if she becomes an Inquisitor and she's like, "This is my past. I'm burning. Destroy it if you have to." You know, Kylo.
maybe.
Anyways,
But what was I going to say?
Yep.
Oh, but I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But for like the Zabrix, male Zabrix, like Maul and stuff, like their patterns on their face, those are
they're
tattoos, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
Yes.
I'm just wondering if
There's a
she
pretty
gave
interesting part about
consent.
that in Plagueis, by the way.
Of course.
how much are we going to talk about?
Yeah. This
stop.
isn't EU with Andrew, bro.
Yeah, I'll stop.
And our schedule is booked through mid-July
It
now.
is.
So
it is.
but-
None of that, for anyone who's curious, includes the Plagueis episode. So
Sadly.
well, we
if you
could
want
do
it-
we could do an extra
if
episode.
you want
guys
it, you got to spam this video on YouTube with comments.
Facts.
Get that engagement up.
Try and get my views on my reaction video on par with Drew's.
Jeez.
And maybe we'll talk. But yes, the fourth sister is talking to Barris, and so it's going to be interesting to see how Barris wasn't killed. I wonder if we're going to get that, just because later on a clone, maybe just in a few seconds, a clone says, "It's a good thing that you're no longer a Jedi. Like, I'd kill you right now if you weren't a Jedi," type of thing. Because somehow we know that Luminara is not killed on Kashyyyk during Order 66 because she's captured and used as bait in the future to lure in Jedi. So it's going to be interesting if we get that, like, why they chose
To keep her around.
not to kill some Jedi and kill everybody else. Like, it's going to be cool to see how, if they dabble in that detail or not. But
Yeah, I wonder if Palpatine was like, "Oh, this person already betrayed, so let's keep her alive."
Well, the other thing too is that I thought was interesting is in the Darth Vader comic, the canon comic, there's a moment where a Jedi on the run uses Order 66 to trick the clone troopers into firing on one of the Inquisitors because
that's funny.
because he
That's
doesn't
cool.
have like a lightsaber or something. I've got it. It's in my cabinet over here. I need to go back and read it, but essentially there's a part of it that's you could almost perceive it as like it's just kind of based on like if they're an active Jedi currently at the time, you know?
Yeah.
So like there's a possibility that because she wasn't a part of the order anymore, they were like, this one's not actually a Jedi, you know? So
but I also was thinking it's like Force users in general were a threat to the Sith. So it's like, why wouldn't they just kill anyone?
And if you watch the new season of Mando, you get that a lot.
what?
Or I'm sorry, not Mando. What the frick? If you watch the newest season of the Bad Batch, like we get a lot of
spoilers. Anyway,
stuff like that.
Yeah. So, what is that patch on her arm? Is that anything? Is that just
second are you on?
So
32 seconds.
So I watched a video where someone compared this to the uniform that Luminara was wearing.
Yeah.
Is this the Citadel?
From Clone Wars?
Yeah, could she be in the Citadel? Is this like a prison jumpsuit for the Citadel?
I don't know. I just assumed that it was at the Inquisitorius.
Maybe it is.
Because where...
It could just be like an Imperial prison uniform.
But where was... No, from Rebels Season 1, when Kanan goes to find Luminara, where does he go?
Does he go? I thought it was the Citadel.
Was it the Citadel?
I don't remember.
Chat, let us know. Yeah, because I can't. They go to a specific place, but I can't remember if it was like on a planet. Like it was. I thought it might have been a ship though, but I don't know.
No.
But we see the Force Sister arrive at the water planet. So I'm assuming now. Obviously, trailers can be misleading, but it's implying that on the Inquisitorius planet, the facility is where the Force Sister is going to talk to Barriss.
The Spire. That's what it's called.
Is that the Inquisitorius headquarters, or what is the Spire?
Near impenetrable, the Spire is one of the galaxy's most notorious prisons. Sith Lord Darth Sidious used the Spire to hold his former apprentice Darth Maul during the Clone Wars. Later, the Spire became an Imperial jail and was blast-proof, ray-shielded, and protected by anti-ship weapons, TIE fighters, and scanners. And this is from StarWars.com.
Okay, cool.
So, do we know what planet it's on? No, but it looks very uninviting.
Right.
Right.
But yes, the Force Sister removes the handcuffs from Barriss, and then immediately after that, we have Barriss is being escorted by some clone troopers, and says, "Just be glad you're not a Jedi anymore." And those are those.
They look like
because those are different uniforms for the clones. Those are like gray. So I wonder if these are just at this facility. Like this is just the color.
Inquisitroopers. Trademark.
Inquisitroopers. That's
a t-shirt.
Very inquisitive of you.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The puns are alive and well tonight here. Or this morning. But then it says 2 stories. And then we get a Mountain Clan matron talking to Morgan Elsbeth. Your path is set. And what are the name? Are those sickles, or what are those called?
Sickles.
Is there like a weapon version? Is this called a sickle? Because the sickle is like for like harvesting, right?
Correct.
But is there like a different name for the weapon? Okay.
No. In fact, a lot of, especially in Japan, like the Kama weapon, where it's got the talon-looking blade on the end of it, that was a farming tool. Nunchaku, farming tool. A lot of the weapons that people used that like were adapted into adopted into weapons.
And I think they're going
just farming tools.
A lot with that too, because like if you guys remember in Mando season 2, when we got Morgan the first time, it was very samurai based outfits and like fighting style. So it seems like it's kind of like that. Like they're just using
but it's also
that would have been used in like old Japanese style stuff.
Yeah. But like this is also they symbolize more of like an arcane, like edgier, darker weapon anyway. So it's not surprising that she has these.
It's kind of dope too.
Yeah.
She looks like she's juggling them at one point.
Yeah,
Oh.
so she is then fighting a bunch of B1 battle droids, blows in a ship blows up very briefly, barely see it. But she
So
says,
it's shooting a building.
Yeah, I don't think that's a ship
That's
that blew up.
it's a drop ship. It's a droid drop ship. And it blows up a
"Oh,
building.
then there's a building,"
Yeah.
which is just one of the entrances into the caves, probably.
Yeah.
And that
There's
fire.
temples and stuff on.
Butolene.
But then you see Morgan standing in the midst of destruction, saying, "I will fulfill my destiny." And there's just a cool transition from when she's young on Dathomir, standing in flames, and it goes to her on the forest moon of Corvus when that forest is on fire with the Republic ship in the back. And she has the Beskar spear in her hand,
Yep.
which we should mention in the opening scene she was holding, which is just a cool little detail that they have in there. One path, and then it opens up, and we see our boy.
Yo, this shot with the
So
door
fire.
opening and the camera panning down, that is a good shot.
Yep.
He looks so much better in this animation, in my opinion.
It just
And
looks
I
more
love-
realistic.
I
Like-
love the
He's
way that
heavier.
the lighting is, but his eyes are just gleaming just enough. You can tell that they're yellow and like Sithy.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is going to be another tangent. Sorry. Is there
Okay.
a reason why Dooku never had Sith eyes? Is it because he just wasn't as dark as he could have been because he still had a good side that he was trying to do good for the galaxy?
So I don't think it's ever explicitly stated, especially not in canon. But Dooku, in my personal opinion, Dooku did not reach the same level of dark side mastery and depth of traveling into the dark side of the Force that someone like Sidious did.
But like
Or
literally
technically
2 hours after Anakin turns to the dark side, he has Sith
yeah,
eyes.
but
So
like,
it's like
but like,
But I don't
he's the
think
chosen
Dooku
one, so-
ever considered himself as a Sith.
well, he did, but like, there's something to be said about the rawness and the ferocity of Anakin's emotions
Translation.
versus Dooku's, which was much more like moderate, more balanced. Like he was definitely evil, but he was I don't know. There was he was less raw and less like unhinged than Anakin was.
right.
So I don't know.
Unless it also has to do, wasn't like the with Palpatine, like he could like it was like a one use power where you could like make your face look normal, and then like once he turned to dark side or used the dark side against like the Force lightning and stuff.
I don't
like
think it's ever canon.
But that was a thing in the EU though, right? Like that's why like Palpatine's face turns the way it is because like it's like some Sith alchemy or something where he can
Maybe.
like that's what he looked like.
Palpatine's turned like that because he got shocked.
I think it's because it removed like the
Good essence of his body.
like the Force ability to like keep your face together or something.
I
like
will
that.
say that in Plagueis, at least, there's no mention of that, and he's completely normal looking the entire time.
Okay, I thought I read that was a thing. That it was like a one-time use thing to keep your face together, and then once you lose control.
So if you turn to the Sith, you look ugly. So don't do it, you guys.
I legit think it was more because of the lightning,
I think
but
so too. I thought it was
Anyways.
just because he got shocked, and he's like, "Look what they've done to my face. I'm hideous."
Darth Hideous
Ooh.
got him.
Quote, new shirt.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's why he turned to the dark side because he was just born so unattractive that like. But yeah, so the Grand Inquisitor and Barriss is standing right behind him, and she walks into a training room, and there's a bunch of sabers. Do we recognize these, or are these just generic sabers.
I think they're generic.
And the Grand
Dave in
Inquisitor
the chat.
says,
I guess that's what happened to my face.
"Oh no! Don't
GG,
turn to the
bro.
dark side, Des."
GG.
But he says mercy only breeds defeat. So he's already teaching her some dark side lessons, and he uses the Force to pull a saber to himself, to the dark side, one path to the dark side. And he says, "But I will help you overcome this weakness." And she's at 20 or at 58 seconds. You can tell she's like
Nervous.
sad, scared, nervous, and she does look older, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I wonder like how far after the Clone Wars this takes place, because
I don't
the
think
Grand
that
Inquisitor,
far
like,
because the clones are still there.
So
yeah,
here's the
clones are still
thing.
there, yeah.
I think we're gonna get the same thing, where it's gonna be one episode, which is shortly after the Clone Wars, one episode during her training, and then one episode as a full-fledged Inquisitor.
And she dies.
We could.
Maybe. But
I
I
think
think
she
it's
has to,
gonna
'cause
be
we
I
don't
think
see
there's
her
gonna be
again.
time jumps.
Right.
I think Ahsoka comes and kills her. What?
Because like later on in the trailer, we see the fourth sister and another Inquisitor fighting another Jedi,
Correct.
but we don't know who that Jedi is or where that takes place in the timeline. It's like part of me wanted to think like somehow Barriss escaped, like after the Order 66 thing, and then she was with another Jedi, and then she was found with this other Jedi that we see later
Maybe it's
on.
possible, yeah.
I was thinking that maybe. But she does look older than in Clone Wars, because I think she is like a year or two younger than Anakin, and then like 3 or 4 years older than Ahsoka. So like she's definitely in her early 20s here. So
Did anyone
Or it's just the
translate
animation
the
just looks
stuff
better.
above at like 1 minute? Anyone translate that stuff above?
on the
Grand
wall.
Inquisitor's head. Yeah.
I don't know if that's Arabesh. I don't think that's Arabesh.
Is it Sith language,
Hold on, I'm going back to it.
or is it just?
That's when she
writing?
has the saber in her hand. Like,
That's not Arabesh.
yeah, it's
Well, I didn't say it was Airbrush. I'm asking, is it Sith?
translatable.
Yeah, I only just started my Duolingo course for Sith, so
Your
I'm
sis-
not.
your sis training.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not there yet.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, my bad.
Cis
Yeah.
Language Arts 101.
Yeah.
But I was going to say something I can't remember. But so in that book, Rise of the Red Blade, I don't want to get too many spoilers because we're going to read it eventually, but does it talk about the Grand Inquisitor, like how fast like he became the Grand Inquisitor? Like, 'cause, like if he's the Grand Inquisitor here, is this like, did it take him 5 years after the Clone Wars to become that, or is he Grand Inquisitor like
Right
pretty
away.
quick? Like,
I don't remember them ever being really specific about that in the book.
because it's like I just doubt that with the Grand Inquisitor here, then we see the fourth sister, implying that there was 3 other sisters before her. Like, and then by the time we get to Jedi Fallen Order, which is 5 years after Order 66, there's already like the 7th sister and stuff. So it's like I feel like this is going to be multiple years after.
It's just
End of
weird
the
because
war.
it throws me off because of the clones.
Right. Well, we still know that, Bad Batch Season 3, we're assuming is like 2 to 3 years after. And so there's still that trend. There's still being like, we slowly see fewer and fewer clones and more stormtroopers as Bad
Mhm.
Batch progresses to 3 seasons. So it's like still in that transition period, but I think with a facility that might be holding Jedi, they want clones that were specifically designed to kill Jedi if something were to go down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's true.
But yes, so we might as well just keep going. So
Grand
she turns on the
Inquisitor.
saber. He tells her to attack, and then he's basically like Vader versus Reva, where he's just dodging, like doesn't hands behind the back. Force pushes her into the ceiling. She crashes down, and then at
Broke her back.
103, 104, blood drips.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think we saw there's like a weird like animated thing with like when Maul gets cut in half. There's like a little like splash of like red mist.
Oh yeah, this
But
is
like,
some mist.
but like, is this the first time we see like blood in Star Wars?
I thought Poe was pretty bloodied up when he was in there with Kylo. I could be.
It was like dried blood. That's different.
Well, Finn got the.
Yeah, bloody
oh, there's
hand.
that. But I was like, man, blood. Like we've never. Not a lot of
Well, I
blood.
mean, to be fair, like all of the weapons are energy based for the most part, so it's like
Right.
Well,
they're
we did see
cauterizing
the
everything.
arm.
That's
in
true.
A New
The
Hope.
the OG blood, Ponda Baba's arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I guess I forgot about that. I don't. Really
There's
pay
still
attention.
hope out there for blood. Don't worry.
A New Hope.
But it's just cool to
A new
see.
blood.
This is First Blood.
There's a first blood. First blood. Ooh.
Rambo.
Yeah. But she has a bloody nose, and she gets angry when she looks up. Then we see we're on Coruscant then at 106 with some lat ships going to the prison where we know that like Ahsoka was held and where she escaped from. So maybe she's being held here at this prison.
Probably.
It's possible.
And then we have, as this is happening, you said the Empire would, and his character Wing, which is Wing is the Asian guy, right? The mayor of that town,
No, I think Wing is the guy.
or is it the representative in the front?
in the
I think
front.
it's the lizard person.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, so we are in the courtyard at 107, where Morgan fights Ahsoka in Mando season 2. So I was like, that's cool. And so she is then talking to New Republic representatives and the mayor, the mayor guy, whatever we call her. But he says that hoping that the Empire would change things. Or sorry, let me go back. What does he say? You said the Empire would help change things, which is weird to say that the Empire, well, this is New Republic era.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Unless it's just remnants of the Empire that he's referring to or something. But like, why would a New Republic representative be saying that the Empire would help change things?
Maybe it is.
Do we know that these are explicitly New Republic people?
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
because we
it's
can
the
tell by
same
their
uniforms that we see.
Yeah, and their helmets.
Yeah,
the helmets, the blue.
Sure.
But I think Wing is the Asian guy.
Yeah, maybe this is something he said before.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But we see those troopers that are with Morgan. She says everything comes at a cost. But then at 110, we see.
Notice she's wearing the same outfit as she is in Ahsoka, and the droid.
Yeah,
is the same style of droid.
Because a droid definitely needs a cape.
Heck yeah! It's part of the droid agreement when you buy them at the droid dealer.
Yep.
Facts. You heard it here first. It's canon.
Yep. And so then she starts fighting the New Republic, and she's using that Beskar. Yes.
She can freaking deflect. I thought this was really cool. She can deflect or at least block blaster bolts.
Yeah.
With this thing. I don't know. I don't know if we've ever really seen a non-force user. I mean, okay, she's a witch. She is a witch.
Which is a dark side.
Yes, yeah, but like I don't think it's ever been explicitly confirmed that like their precognition comes with just like being a witch.
Right.
But all I'm saying is like we've not. Huh?
But from what we saw earlier when she was like cutting B1 battle droids, like she's a good fighter.
Yeah. I was just gonna say that like outside of like traditional Jedi and Sith, we've not really seen anyone do it this well before.
I feel like there was something in Clone Wars where like Cad Bane had a lightsaber and he was blocking blasters with a saber.
Well,
like, I'm just saying, like I think we've seen it before.
If we have, I haven't. I don't remember.
I'm just saying she's a witch. She uses the dark side of the Force. I think that evil. And precognition isn't like a light side or dark side ability. It's just kind of like a neutral
It's a force ability. Yeah.
force ability that anyone can use. So it's like Anakin was never trained when he was pod racing. It's like he was able to use that. So I think it's just
I can see things before they happen.
That's
That was
a
him.
Jedi thing.
anyway.
not
She's
a
fighting.
Jedi
She's
thing.
blocking, and then the
Isn't
New
that what he
Republic
said?
ship,
The blue ship.
blue
It's a
ship,
nice looking ship.
was
until
it was nice. But then that lizard guy, he's running to the ship, and it blows up.
Yep.
I don't know if you can stop it right at 114, but it's a shot on his face when it's blowing up and his mouth is open. Like, oh crap!
It almost looks like if you go fast enough, like at towards the end of 114, it kind of looks like his face got blown off.
So I got this in Final Cut. There's a shot right as he hits the ground. There's a few frames right as he hits the ground, where his arms he like slumps over enough to the camera, and his whole chest is just charred.
Oh yeah. You can see that 115.
It happens.
It happens when you get
if you get blown up,
you take an explosion to the chest. You know?
Yeah, that's the least of your worries of the chest on fire.
Yeah. This chest is on fire.
And at
New shirt
117,
right there.
Morgan says, "My world has been burning," and she's on the ground as Grievous is approaching. And I'm super excited to see
something
Grievous.
to mention is that her weapons are glowing the same glow that
She's got that magic.
That magic glow.
Let me tell you something. Unless this is like these were like Beskar or like Cortosis, if she didn't have that magic, that fight would have been over real fast. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
That's a new shirt. That magic glow. Let's spell it with a K.
Yeah.
Dude, all right, chat. Hurry up and make all these shirts. We're telling you everything right now. Come on. Need a whole line.
But yeah, then she just continues on like 121. She's just using those sickles that are glowing.
She looks so cool with her
fighting Grievous. Then he does like a cross block. And says
tattoos or whatever.
Her world is burning since I was a child. So like I wonder how old she means as a child, because here she seems like she's implying she's a teenager.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Gosh, it looks so cool. Fighting Grievous like that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that fight. Because I don't remember.
They're not normal sickles, clearly, because she couldn't be able to.
Well, no, they're lighting up.
They're on fire. They have some
runes.
Something written on them.
She has LED lights on just so they look cool in the dark.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Well,
she got some gamer sickles.
At 122, like there's stuff written on them.
Yeah, it's just her name in Comic Sans.
Okay, well,
yeah. Morgan Elsbeth.
Either way, when Black Series comes out with those things, it's gonna be lit.
Literally, if they come out with life size ones, they could light up.
They'll be lit.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Jeremiah's like, why do I deal with this willingly?
And she says, "You cannot stop what has begun." As she's running into the forest,
the fight with the dragon. The dragon. Why did I say that? The battle droids. That's a
dragon.
So, anyways, did you notice that the two mother ladies are running in behind her?
Mm-hmm. I was gonna get to that. Yeah.
Well,
I'm going scene by scene, and I get cut off. But yeah, so she's running out, and then you see the mother ladies, and then
the mother ladies.
Then B2 super battle droids drop in.
Dragons are coming in.
And then it switches scenes to the fourth sister.
This scene almost looks real.
Mm-hmm. The
lighting on her right before the lightsaber starts to spin.
Right.
Like this, it's another one of those scenes that like really quickly you almost think, is that someone in makeup? Because it's lit really well.
Yep. And then we see at 129,
as the kids would say,
the fourth sister is fighting a Jedi as another Inquisitor is running towards the fight, which it could be Barriss.
I think it's Barriss.
Or Barriss is running towards the fight.
Yeah.
Because she has that head, her scuba dive gear on, or scuba dive thing. The Jedi is a black woman
Yeah.
with her hair tied behind her,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and
I just wonder, like,
is that Adi? Is that
no,
no.
She got,
Sorry, just
she's dead.
just forget I said anything. Just
But
let's just keep going.
I might be wrong, and I probably am wrong, but this could be. I wonder if this might be Sarah from Fallen Order, and
It could be.
because I know she was taken into the Inquisitorius and she was being trained to be an Inquisitor, but she was able to escape or whatever. But
It could be.
But I don't know. Like, I don't remember much exactly about all the details if they've been released. But it'd be cool if that's her. Just tying it again to another story. So they're fighting, but then at
I just want to know who this is.
the Jedi.
No, in the next scene.
Oh yeah,
with the Patronus.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's Mother Talzin.
It's someone with a hood.
Mother Talzin.
You can't deny that. They've got a hood on.
Mother Talzin.
Okay.
That's because I think she's just doing a big magic attack.
It's a T-shirt. She's doing the big magic attack.
Dude, we're
attack with a K. With two Ks.
2 Ks. I was like, I already have a K. Which is just cool. We're gonna see some cool witch magic from her.
The interesting thing is that is part of the poster. That scene, whoever is in that, is important enough that they put it on the poster.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll have to go look.
Mother Talzin is a pretty important character.
Because I think she dies during this attack, right? During the massacre in the Clone Wars. I think that's where she dies.
I don't know. You got to send us all those episodes so we can rewatch.
You can Google it yourself, Drew. It's not that hard. But I do. I can do that. I'm fine.
We can, but why would we if you just do it for us?
I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, moving on. Grand Inquisitor says, now you must face one final test. And it's Barriss with another, I believe is a male alien. We'll get a little closer shot of him later. And one final test to like join us. So I don't know if this is like they train 2 people up as Inquisitors at a time and then they fight to the death for the one to win, or if this is just a new thing, or maybe this is a captured Jedi, and then one final test is you have to kill this Jedi. Could be. I think it would be cool either way, like whatever they choose.
I think this is like the final test to become an Inquisitor.
Right, but I'm saying is the test fighting another trainee, or is it?
I think it's a trainee.
Another Jedi. I
think it's a trainee.
Your job is to kill.
Yeah, because
I think it's a training because they're wearing the same outfits too.
They train them up to the point where they think they're good enough, and then only the strongest one gets in.
Just kind of sad and depressing.
Because you have to be able to kill another Force user anyways. So it's like your integrate test.
Yep.
Your finals. Your Sith.
And that guy
finals.
looks dope. You got 139. He looks so cool.
Yeah, it's like 2 frames that would get him like close.
He does look pretty cool. I bet the rain just kind of. He's got like his own little umbrella thing going on.
A built-in.
Yeah, for his shoulders.
But what's the name of that species? Because we've seen him before.
Flappy heads.
Pointy ears.
That's not any better. That's not any better at all.
Well, I guess if this was another trainee, he would also be a former Jedi anyway. So probably, I guess same thing. But so he's able to get the lightsaber right away. And what are those lights in the background? Are those just lights, or are they?
They're just lights.
Holocrons?
No, they're just lights.
They're just lights. Holocrons are just hanging out.
I don't know. It's just a weird light. Like, why is it like it's like a light inside a box? Like,
this is a light inside glass that makes it go farther.
Okay, I'm just saying. But they're fighting on a donut, and so
you know the Sith donut challenge.
Yep.
Sounds like a TikTok trend. Hopefully not. Jeez.
But yeah, so they're trapped inside like a ray shield thing, whatever. I don't know what you want to call it. Arena inside the circle, and so they're just fighting. Barris force pushes him, and then she like force jumps to like force kick him.
Just put force in front. She force jumps, force spins, so
Force
she can
spins.
force drop kick him. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yep.
tell you something. This kick, if it lands,
Down for the count.
dude, GG. You don't even need a lightsaber.
His head's already down, so
That's
it's like,
one heck of a kick. I mean, he's going straight into the. That's like a forced curb stomp.
because like she's gonna be like, because like I said, his head is down. So if she lands that kick, it's gonna be the back of the head, and he'll be like, "Man, the back of that head is ridiculous." Like when she's done, like deep cut right there. If you
That
know
is
what
a-
I.
Why we don't do these?
That's
movies.
old enough, Jeremiah. That's old enough that some of our audience has no idea
Yeah,
what you're talking about. I will say that there's a frame right before it cuts where you can see him kind of going to one side. So I think he's gonna dodge it.
Oh, I thought he was gonna get kicked in the back of the head and fall down the donut hole.
No,
good. But then, the Grand Inquisitor says, it is time you meet your new master," which we see Barris in this, so obviously she beats this guy in a fight. Spoilers. But yes, KP Boy walks in from his feet at 150. Keep going, doing your thing. At 150.
no, I can't.
Okay. No, true. You tried to use a filter.
No.
No, we're done.
Yeah, anyways.
But at 150, we have a little lineup, and you
This
recognize,
is interesting. This
Is
is
you recognize those
interesting.
two boys at the end?
Yeah, you know those two boys. You got Fart Boy and Ahsoka guy.
Yep. So,
Trademark.
end of the final episode of Tales of the Jedi, season
Fart Boy
1.
and Metalhead.
Ahsoka fights the Inquisitor at the very end, the guy that has the Imperial merch cape and hood. Like that's such a choice. Like,
it really is.
I
It
want
really
that
is though.
outfit, bro.
like he thinks he's
That
cool,
cosplay
like
would
walking
be
around.
fire, dude.
Dude,
so-
it reminds me of the Sith armor from the Old Republic
Mm-hmm.
cinematics. They all had those like super cool metal head masks.
Well, and it's like super, like it almost has like that bird looking helmet that they, like,
Yeah.
those
Like a
doctors used
doctor.
to use.
Yeah.
yeah. So
What are
it
they
kind of
called?
has those eyes.
So I'm pretty sure, is he the first brother at this time?
He might be.
Maybe.
Like if this is
I heard something somewhere that he was the first brother at this time.
could be. So okay, so we know that they retconned the Ahsoka novel with
Yep.
that.
Yep.
But like, so what we got in Ahsoka with the Ahsoka Tales of the Jedi
Tales.
episode, Dave Filoni said that episode was what he originally wrote that was later used to inspire the Ahsoka novel, and then he has made his own thing. So,
I
like,
got you.
I have
But,
more
like-
power than you.
but like in that book takes place, I think, was like a year after Order 66. So like if that is true, that Ahsoka kills him a year after the Order 66, then this would be within a year after Order 66.
Well, okay, but if we think about this, if that's the fourth sister, what if it's Grand's 1, he's 2, the other guy's 3?
Grand doesn't have a number.
Okay, never mind.
And the guys have their own numbers and girls.
Is it separate?
I thought so. I thought it was.
I thought it
first
was
brother,
all
first-
one.
I think it's all 1.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that means 3 died.
Here's what I think. Well, that would make sense because why would Barris be ahead
Yeah, I think
in a
Thirst is
spot
dead.
ahead? Yeah,
Unless it says the
Harris
girls
is
next to
not-
each other and the guys next to each other.
that's true.
But
true.
anyway, that second from the end is Marek.
Mhm.
Fart boy.
So does this mean then that he was actually alive
I think
Yeah.
yeah.
and was an Inquisitor, and
Yeah.
then he is later revived by Morgan.
Yep.
So it would be cool
To see him
if we
die.
see the two stories.
Come together. Yeah.
Overlap.
See.
That would be really cool just to see.
I think that we are going to get something in the show that is going to drastically inform something that happens in Ahsoka season 2.
Ooh.
And don't quote me on this,
we will.
but it is possible that Barriss could be an adversary for Ahsoka in season 2. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
But I feel like Ahsoka.
Is it
season
likely?
2,
Maybe not. But like,
the main thing reason I would disagree with that is because I think that Ahsoka season 2 is mainly going to be Ahsoka trapped on that planet trying to get off.
well,
And so
sure,
unless
sure.
Barriss is in that on that planet,
Maybe Barriss is causing problems
Dude,
for the people in the
okay,
galaxy,
but-
and Ezra has to fight Barriss.
Imagine though the full circle of Ahsoka ending up killing Barriss. That would be so.
It would be-
fire.
Give
be-
me a season where she comes in contact with the Force family and Barriss.
the Force family.
Yeah, the father, the son, and the
Oh.
daughter.
I was like,
I mean, not that. I mean, we know what happened to them, but like, there's obviously some weird celestial force things happening.
Mhm.
So give me something really cool in that respect, and then end the season with her and Barriss fighting.
Or
That's what Andrew wants.
She goes-
okay. As a fan who knows all the story, it would be cool. But like for me, it would feel like bringing in Barriss in Ahsoka
Mhm.
season 2 would just be like a weird addition.
Well, the whole
Just for that
sequels were
story.
a weird addition, and they did
We're not
that.
talking about okay.
So
People need to
I
get
miss
over the sequel
Andrew
trilogy.
on this show so much.
But I think that it's just like it would just be a weird add-on.
sure.
That's going to be like people who don't know the whole story are going to be like, okay, they're just bringing us this random character.
well,
Well, I mean, that
Wait.
was people had that experience with season 1 that didn't know the whole story. They're like, "What is going? Who is Ezra?"
because it is. Yeah, that's true.
But
Got a good point. But
Star
also-
Wars is completely done with making stories for the most part that people don't need the full context to follow. Like the
Right.
Mandalorian, it was like the last one I think that they were going to do, and now everything has to
tie
connect.
in, and if you're
Yeah.
caught up, you're caught up. If
Well,
you're not, you're gonna
with-
listen to our podcast, and we'll help you out.
And but
Ayo.
also with Acolyte, that's a fresh start too because that's before everything. So
Yeah,
like,
but also you kind of need the novels to inform some of the characters, though.
No, none of those characters in
No.
that trailer, except for one of them, is actually in those novels.
Well, sure, but like
You don't
one of
really-
the one character is
There's
a pretty
gonna be-
important character.
there's going to be more. Vernestra Rowe, which
Yep.
stay tuned. There'll be a special episode at the end of May
Yeah, the freaking Jedi prodigy herself.
about Vernestra Rowe with the
Mhm.
help of our good friend Grace. So
Yep, my replacement.
No, not
you're
replacement,
here
'cause
right
you're
now.
here right now.
What do you mean? You're welcome back. Any episode that you want to
hold
come
up,
on.
you've done that yourself because you're
What do
not
you
around
mean?
that much.
Because you chose to leave.
What?
So,
Oh,
anyway,
well,
you're welcome. We've said it a million
Touche.
times. You're welcome to
Touche.
come back
You're
any episode.
still-
You could binge Bad Batch this weekend, and this
Okay.
Wednesday you could. Dude, it's getting spicy, dude. There's only 4 episodes left.
my plan, and
All
you
right,
can quote me on this.
here we
You can quote
go.
me on this. My
Write it down.
plan is to be there for the finale. To be here for the finale.
Right. We know that, but I'm just saying if you
So,
were
like-
to binge it this weekend and get caught this weekend,
I'm not going to be able to binge
You-
it this
you
weekend,
could
but I am going to binge it before the finale.
even
Because-
even
and
a
the-
week
and the,
before the finale. You could.
And then the only reason that I'm doing that, I am doing that for, well, there's two main reasons. The first reason is I don't have Disney Plus, and that's kind of a qualification. But the second is because I want to have a discussion about like what our experiences were like of y'all waiting every week versus
Mhm.
me being able to watch it all back to back.
That's
Right.
true.
Because I know in the past, like especially with Clone Wars season 7, we were like, those Bad Batch episodes weren't what we were really hoping for until we got all 4 and we were like, okay, they were good in context. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Let's just
So-
say we haven't had that experience yet, though.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure it's fantastic. But all I'm saying is like my goal is also to try to see like
Right.
was my experience that much different by doing it this way after sitting through what like 6 hours of
Yeah, they're all about 27 minutes.
How many episodes are there
There's
total?
15 total. So the
it's
finale.
like-
So there's 14 that you'd have to get caught up on
I
before the
just
finale.
texted you, Andrew.
So it's like 5. It's like 5 hours.
But like, I'm kind of hoping.
I just texted.
So like the season 1, episode 1 was 75 minutes. It would be really cool if the bookend was a 75-minute finale.
Would be really cool.
I mean, this is the last season, so they're gonna have to do something.
There's only 3
Yeah.
episodes left.
Yeah,
Well, 4 episodes left.
4
waiting for Tech to come back.
We all are. But that's don't want to spoil
Spoilers.
anything.
We don't want to spoil
Alrighty.
anything, but trailer, yes. So we got the lineup here of the Inquisitors.
I also really think though that there's potential that we could see her fall in this show,
She
and
could die, yeah.
potentially it still would be really cool if we see Ahsoka do it.
Could be.
Like
Like
the last
after-
episode.
Like after that one Inquisitor doesn't come back, Barriss is sent out to go investigate.
And then she bumps into Ahsoka.
Bumps into Ahsoka. She's hunting down Ahsoka. That would be cool.
And to have
But
Ahsoka
I'm also
voice acted by Ashley again would be so cool.
Yep.
I would love that.
But I also we gotta understand that she's bowing her knee to
Before
Vader,
everyone else.
which means
I think she's gonna find out.
Do you think she's gonna find out that
Oh
it's
yeah,
Anakin?
she's
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
able to sense the familiarity there.
And do you think then that's what my question is like?
You think that's when she
Because
potentially
if
turns?
he knows that she knows, do you think he's gonna kill her then?
Ooh.
That he's finally gonna do the final blow? Like I wasn't able to kill you the first time.
Oh, that would be intense.
And-
Maybe.
Because like obviously he's gonna recognize her right in
Yeah.
here, or
Yeah,
he
yeah.
already knows that
He
she's
probably
being
already
trained.
knows. It's just, does she know?
But like I feel like maybe he's gonna be training her, like your new master, like, and she feels that when they're dueling, she remembers a familiarity with some of his moves, like you
Maybe.
mentioned, and she kind of connects those dots.
Or maybe she connects the dots. She tries to kill him, and obviously it does not go well. It's kind of like a Reva moment, you know?
Like, or what if at this point Reva has already been taken and she's just a kid, and she shares with Barriss because she knows Barriss probably. Like,
Ooh,
hey, I think
maybe.
this is Anakin, and then Barriss kind of investigates, and then like
Maybe.
that would be cool. Like I wouldn't be mad if they.
I wouldn't be mad if the final episode was her and Anakin squaring off for the last time
That
That
would
would
be
be
cool.
to bring
I didn't even
to
think
bring
about
closure
that.
to that character. Yeah,
Either way, I feel like she's gonna fall to either Vader or Ahsoka.
or Ahsoka. It's like
Either way
poetry.
would be dope.
It rhymes.
Because it would be like Ahsoka not wanting to do it,
Yeah,
but she doesn't have another option. She ends up doing it, and that like really like hurts Ahsoka's character
hmm
and like brings closure in like a sad way.
Yeah.
And like I feel like it would also develop her character a little bit. Or we
Ooh,
could see that in season 2 of Ahsoka. Like maybe she goes and like
Jeremiah said that wouldn't be the case.
okay,
Yep.
well, I'm saying like if she goes to the father or whatever and the brother, and then she goes like back into World Between Worlds and then has to refight her.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, quite frankly, everything's kind of fair game now. With the
yeah.
would it make sense? Maybe not. But is it fair game because of the World Between Worlds? Kind of.
Like maybe like they bring that story in there and then like you're like, hey, if you watch the Tales of the Empire, you know this character now. And like
Yeah. And,
And-
hey, if
and-
you listen to Empire Radio, you'd be well informed regardless.
true, and you should.
Yeah.
but I think if it is Barriss versus Ahsoka at the end of the show, I think it would be really cool if when Ahsoka defeats her, like she catches Barriss like Obi-Wan caught Maul, and like
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
like she's like we're not enemies, but like I had to like defend myself, and like
Like the same
It'll be-
move too.
it'll be cool. It won't be the same,
That would be dope.
but it would be cool though. Like if it was that where it was that tender moment of like
yeah,
Mm.
I think that's would be really cool.
Oh,
You know what's
like-
also really tender moments?
Yep. You kind of ruined my transition, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, I don't know about Andrew, but I've been drinking our sponsor all morning, and you should be too. And good enough. Andrews also produced a fun commercial for this, so we should.
Yeah, if you haven't watched our YouTube version, go to 135 and look at the cool new Wesley Andrews ad that our good boy over here made a couple weeks ago. So,
And he had to apparently do it so much he ran out of Wesley coffee, so it took him a long time to make.
took him like 2 hours.
Yeah, I did it in an afternoon.
He
Okay,
makes that
well.
video faster than it takes me to make a thumbnail for YouTube. So
it's just experience, man.
So let's take a listen to our sponsor for today, Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it. All right. Cool. So, Barris is kneeling down to Vader as he walks in.
Walks by Barris.
And
She looks up and she looks depressed.
Yep. And the Grand Inquisitor says, "Long live the Empire." And then cool transition from Tales of the Jedi logo to a burning away to Tales of the Empire. All 6 episodes available May 4th, which is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday, baby, because I'm going to see the Phantom
So,
Menace.
Drew and I are going to have to figure out our exact schedule because that's going to be a busy weekend.
Dude, it's, yeah.
But, like, we're going to have to do a lot of episodes in a short amount of time, I think. Because if we're gonna have to do an entire episode for Morgan's story and an entire episode for Varys' story, like we did with season 1 of Tales of Jedi. We split the stories into 2 episodes. But it's also Star Wars Day, so they could announce something, another trailer. So
I really don't think so. I think this was
Well, and the other thing is if either one of you goes and sees the Phantom Menace, you're getting a special look at the Acolyte. Yeah. So I would imagine they're going to give us new footage.
Are they showing that special stuff only at AMC's or is that at anyone?
It's
all
just
the theaters are going to have all movies and all are going to have the Acolyte preview.
I was planning on going and watching all movies.
But like if we got to record that weekend, Drew, like that's you have like
Dude,
over
just
24 hours of
just go see the Phantom Menace. This is what I'm doing.
But I'm thinking, should we go see Phantom Menace the night before? It doesn't come out on Friday night.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Good GG finding good luck finding tickets.
Well, we don't live in LA.
Yeah, we're not. Okay.
Oh, that's true. I looked at like 2 or 3 different theaters and all
I
of
know
the
they're
seats are sold
selling
out.
because Tanner is trying to go with us too, and Louis, and like
all of the
let's buy
seats
tickets
are
and I
sold.
was gonna
Like there
miss-
was one of the theaters that I looked at for Friday is completely sold out in LA. I was like, dude, I don't even know if I'm gonna buy. I barely found tickets for Saturday.
But Drew, I will only go see Phantom Menace on Friday night because I'm going to be binging the show that weekend. So
yeah, let's do Friday night. We'll buy tickets today while we're at our thing.
while we're at a funeral, we're going to be buying tickets to Star Wars.
Like when we're doing our stuff, Jeremiah.
Okay.
'Cause
So
are we still going to the other place too?
yes.
We have time, and Steph's doing an Easter egg hunt. Oh, week later with all the kids. So I'm kind of free this afternoon.
Cool. All right. Well, any other theories, predictions, thoughts about this trailer?
No, I'm ready,
No.
man.
I'm ready.
We
I'm
did 2 hours for a 2-minute trailer once again.
like, if you were to, like we talked about at the beginning of this episode, like Drew mentioned, like if you were to tell me, yeah, like they're gonna do an animated show about Morgan Elsbeth,
I would have been like, ugh,
like,
why?
huh?
Do we want that?
But with the trailer,
Same
with the
thing
action,
with Andor.
No, I was
um,
always pumped for Andor.
I was like, it was Andor was like a why, but like once the
Yeah.
first trailer dropped, I was like, okay,
But it's the same thing. It's like, why are we getting more backstory on this random character? But then it ends up being some of the best Star Wars ever.
Yep. And I believe wasn't it just like a month ago they finished filming for Andor season 2?
Yeah.
So
Also, one of
probably-
the writers for Andor has been brought on to do one of the new movies.
I'll
Isn't
take it.
different than Tony Gilroy is they had more than isn't he the main writer?
Yes, but there are other writers that contributed very well to
Oh.
the story.
There's
I
always
don't think
more
it's-
than one writer for everything.
I don't think it's Tony Gilroy, but I think one of the
That'd be
main
dope.
writers for Andor is on.
What we need is Tony Gilroy and Dave Filoni to work together
Oof.
to write a movie.
Please.
Even
Or
though
we need Tony
Dave
Gilroy
Filoni
and the
is
guy
head
that
of
did-
creative whatever. So like
Yeah.
he's gonna be involved with every project moving forward, so it's fine. But
Is this his first project
what? Who?
as the creative director?
Dave?
No, I think Bad
Yeah.
Batch.
Well,
Season
he
3.
got appointed in January. But like this show is gonna be
Wait, are you
already
serious? It was only in January?
Yeah.
Time is such a weird thing. I swear.
I feel
So
like
like
it's
this
going
show is already well in production
Yeah, that's true.
well over a year ago.
But it's animation, so we already know that he was in charge of it anyway.
because he was head of animation before that, I think. So
That's true.
but yes. So do we think then I guess this could be our Spotify Q&A for this, but Tales of the ... series.
Mm-hmm.
Which ones do we want? You already mentioned
Sith.
Sith. Are there other ones that you want, like
Are there-
Tales
are-
of
are-
bounty hunters, or
Ooh.
Tales of
Bro,
something
it's
else?
gonna be good. Tales of everything is gonna be good. Put
I
a
don't
tail
know.
on it.
We
it's
haven't
good,
gotten any
bro.
disappointments yet. Like this is 4 stories that we're already going to be. In
I
love
would
with.
really like to. I mean, I would honestly like to.
Wait, isn't it
to-
5? Because it wasn't Tales of the Jedi 3 different Jedis.
No,
Oh
it
no.
was Ahsoka and Dooku.
Yeah,
Why
I would
not?
like more Tales of the Jedi. Like many
Any
more.
specific Jedi?
Mace Windu. I read Shatterpoint. That was a really good story.
The new canon book got delayed a month and a half.
Ah,
It's coming out in October now.
Great.
Instead of September 1st or whatever it was before. So
yeah. I'm pretty sure since our last episode, was it the last episode that I was on where you were talking about Shatterpoint, or was that the one before?
it was probably the last one you're on, just because we want you to do a Shatterpoint E with Andrew, and then the next time you're on, we would do the book review of the new thing to see if there's any.
So I've read 5 Star Wars books since that episode.
Weird flex.
Weird flex, but okay.
I read Shatterpoint, 3 Old Republic novels. Or wait, hold on.
Bro, when are you gonna get the High Republic, the new High Republic book that we told you got to read?
Yeah,
That's
the
the
newest
point.
one is
It's
amazing.
so
you want me to
good.
mail it to you with some coffee?
No,
It's so
mine.
good.
I can get it. I'm just saying, like, I read the 3 Old
I'm just
Republic
helping you
books,
out. I just want to help you.
Shatterpoint, and then I just read Plagueis. That was the 5th one.
But I just got in the mail 2 days ago. Our next one that we're doing? Got it right here.
Master and Apprentice. Yeah,
Master and Apprentice. Got it in the mail.
I need
that's
to
a good one.
buy that
So
one.
we'll be doing that next month. So if you are listening and you haven't read that book, get it, read it. I got the audiobook too. So
I need to get that. I need to put down Dune and start reading that one.
he's reading Dune because he
Oh.
loves that second movie so much.
Dude, that second movie.
It's like his
Have you
favorite
seen
movie
it?
of all time.
It's up there, bro. It's so good, dude. I've seen it twice.
If you
I'd
think
go
the
watch
dirt
it today.
animation in this is good, you gotta look at the sand animation. in
Yeah,
the
I
second
mean,
movie.
like,
You gotta go watch that.
when people started hyping that movie up, people were talking about how like this is like the savior of modern cinema, and I'm like,
That's a little aggressive, but it's really good.
But the bar is also very low right now.
Well, then in that
All right,
case,
well,
it
if you're
could be
gonna
the
take
same.
that perspective, sure. But
Yeah,
like,
But
yes,
yeah.
it is.
Anyways, maybe
I'm
I'll
just
watch it.
saying. You
I
should,
like
Did you like
didn't
the first one?
I didn't like overly love it. Like it was
See,
it
I
was
hated
beautiful.
the first one.
It
I
was
hated
beautifully shot. The special effects are fantastic, like out of this world.
Mhm.
The cinematography is fantastic, and I mean, but like the story of the first one, I was like, I don't dislike this, but I didn't love it. I was like, this is a good time. It's sci-fi. There's some great action, but like I never wanted to watch it again.
And I'm the same way. Actually, I did not like the first one, but the second one blows the first one out of the water.
he's seen it twice. He went
I've seen-
back to go see
I would
it.
go
Wow.
watch it tonight if Steph would let me. Like, it's that good, bro. I
Wow.
love it.
But anyway, back to my question. Tales of the Sith.
Sith,
I would say a bounty hunter one.
Bounty
would
Hunter one
be
would be
cool,
cool.
but like it's kind of like what
To get some,
big story could you add?
well,
to
we
that?
could
Like, I
get
don't
some.
know.
Okay, you got everyone's gonna be like, oh, of course. But to get a Tales of the Bounty Hunter, like of Cad Bane, of times where we haven't seen him, like to fill in some gaps, and then Boba between like after the Clone Wars Boba and before like episode 5 Boba, like that Boba Fett would be really cool to see that transition. And like there's non-canon books and canon books out there about him, but to get a filler Tales of the Jedi of Boba Fett, I think that would be really fun.
We could do like Tales of the Mandalorians, where it's like ancient Mandalore or like pre episode
That-
1 Mandalore. We could get a Jango Fett story of
That'd be
like
cool. A
him
Jango
leading
Fett
up,
Tales of the
being
Boba.
recruited by Dooku. That would be cool.
There's a lot
Um,
of cool potential out there with this stuff, and they've already announced that they're doing What If, so that stuff's gonna be really fun too.
rumors, nothing
Oh,
officially announced.
But
could
doing
get-
What Ifs and like bringing some of that canon stuff into like What If, just to have fun with it, I think it's gonna be really fun.
Well, if you're looking for Star Wars what ifs, go check out our episodes on the Infinity series,
True.
because that's basically what those were.
We've been doing What Ifs forever.
Heck yeah,
Every EU with Andrew is hashtag What If.
yeah.
We could also finally do a what if, or not what if, Tales of Star Wars chefs, and we could get a backstory of
Dex.
our boy Dex.
Oh my gosh.
How did he know about the Kaminoan
Obi-Wan!
history? Where did he get his knowledge from? Like,
Oh, Obi-Wan. Yes, I love that dude.
I'd
Should get him
really,
tattooed on me, dude.
I'd really like to see. What?
I'm working on my
really-
whole Star Wars sleeve, and I'm thinking I should add him to it now.
oh,
Really big on your shoulder. He's like the main.
Giant. No, but behind. So this is blood.
oh my
Okay.
gosh. Anyway, what were you gonna say, Andrew?
I was gonna say I'd really love to see like zombie, like it doesn't have to be Death Troopers or Red Harvest, but it would be really interesting to see that in an animated form. Like I know we got the Night Sister thing, but give me some horror, some Star Wars horror related stuff.
Dazzler says in the chat, Tales of the Cantina.
That fun fact, that's a book. Tales from
Tales
Mos
of-
Eisley Cantina.
Oh.
No, it's a collection of short stories.
It's cool. Is it full of scum and villainy?
Yeah.
Is it
Nice.
canon?
It's from different. It's literally different characters from A New Hope. And it's an EU. It's like a collection of short stories from the EU, and then they
That's
have.
cool.
They also have Tales from Jabba's Palace.
Ooh.
Which
Tales
is-
of Crime Lords. Like that'd be cool. Like a different crime lords, crime syndicates, like a Pike Syndicate one, a Hut Syndicate,
Oh, that actually be cool.
or it could just be like, what's the Shadow Collective? Like all those
Yeah.
different ones, like after the war. Like that'd be cool.
But I think for sure, like Tales of the Sith and doing one on Maul and how he became Maul, I think would be really dope.
There are tales of people rethinking their life.
Yeah.
See whatever,
It's
yeah,
just-
whatever happened to
it's-
that guy.
It's 6 episodes on this guy's life.
That'd be
he ends
cool.
up having a family.
He actually rethinks his life.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
It's kind of like in the Men in Black movies, like they flash and
Yeah.
some guy does, and then like throughout the rest of the movie, there's like him getting married and having kids.
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
That. It's kind of funny. All right, well, I think we've exhausted this trailer enough. This is actually a lot shorter than I thought we were going to be, but it was still a great trailer, great breakdown. But if you want to get connected to Empire Radio, if you're new and this is your first time listening to us,
Welcome.
go in the description wherever you are, click the links.co/Empire Radio, landing page for everything Empire Radio. So if you want to follow us on Instagram, go there. We got Facebook. We have a Discord invite link, so click that. We do voicemails. Now, we only do voicemails one episode a week, so if we have 2 episodes, we only do it once, so we're not doing voicemails tonight. But we do voicemails every week, so you can just send us in your questions or comments, and if it's family-friendly, we'll definitely play that on air.
Yeah, and just because you guys are listening to this now, on Wednesday when we're doing our Bad Batch breakdown, you can, feel free to send in voicemails about this trailer. We're not going to not listen to them. Like, we want the voicemail time is separate from the episode time. It's our time with you guys. So if there's stuff you guys want to talk about this trailer, feel free, send them in. I'm looking at everyone in the Discord right now. Go send in a voicemail. So there's a fun new link, new system, and it's super clean and easy to use. So go send in voicemails.
Yep. You don't even have to sign up. You can just click the button and record. But yes, also, so YouTube, also go follow us on YouTube. Go check out my trailer reaction. Drew has enough.
God.
Drew has enough on his going viral over there. But yes, the more people that watch any of our videos, the better. So thumbs up, comment, all that stuff, just so we can get more traffic, because the bigger we get, the better content we can put out for you guys. So please follow us on YouTube. We have more than just a podcast. Like, we have reaction videos, we have all kinds of other stuff on there. So go check that out. But we do, if you notice, we were talking to the chat. So we do live stream every episode on Twitch. So go check that out on Twitch. Go follow us there and get some notifications from when we go live. There's a fan email if you want to email us. And then there's also a link for needlesslynerdy.com, which is a entertainment network that we're a part of for all kinds of nerdy content. So go check that out as well. What's so funny, Andrew?
I just checked my subscription page on YouTube, because I'm subscribed, Yeah. And both of the videos are close enough to each other that I can see the two
numbers.
The numbers. Go give Jeremiah's video some love, please. Because like, so far, Drew has like 11 times
views since we started this episode, dude.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about, I guarantee you though, because like every single time Drew has more views on his stuff than me. I think it's just simply because
I'm cute.
His goes up first. People watch his, but then they don't go back to our channel to watch mine. And so I guarantee you, if I were to post mine before Drew,
you want to do that next time?
You want to put some credits on that? Some Republic credits, because
Republic credits, sure, all Republic credits you want. But
I was gonna say, next time we have something, I bet Drew would let you put yours out first as a test.
Drew, you want to do that?
Depends on how early you put yours out. I think the other issue is
it's not early, because it's like you post yours by 6 or 7 o'clock, and I don't watch the trailer till 7 o'clock or later, and I put a lot of effort into editing. So like, mine doesn't get up to like 3-4 hours after yours.
I think that's
he said I put a lot of effort into editing.
Well, I don't
like Drew.
Yeah, he doesn't. Oh, also take your camera and put it down in the bottom corner. It's like,
no, I like it like this. Don't
in the middle of the video where you can't see what's going on.
I don't need any help. Look at the numbers.
Oh, okay.
You don't need that.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man.
Just kidding. But
I think it also might be the thumbnail, though, because like, I think Barris is kind of the hot attention grabber right now.
She's hot? Oh, okay.
No, that's not what, you know what I mean. Because like, the other thing too, one of the channels that I watch, their video for the breakdown of the trailer has 144,000 views, and her face is the biggest thing on the thumbnail.
Right. I think most people just take the trailer thumbnail.
I don't normally, but I did for some reason this time. And
it's like, I also don't want to put the same thumbnail as Drew.
Well,
I actually like your thumbnail way more than mine.
I do too. You're right.
Jeez.
But yes, follow us on YouTube, get us some views.
Get Jeremiah some views.
Yep.
Go help Jeremiah out.
Yep. All right. Well, anything else, boys?
Nope.
Nah.
All
Not
right.
anymore.
Cool. Well, you have been listening to another trailer-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.